¡Hey! ¿Cómo están? Les doy la más cordial bienvenida de nueva cuenta y como siempre, mi nombre es Alejandro Franco. Yo tengo una invitada muy especial en sesiones. Estaba yo recapitulando lo que llevamos grabado en esta temporada y me doy cuenta que llevamos a muchas mujeres, afortunadamente, de la industria de la música que se han presentado, bueno, en la historia de sesiones, pero también particularmente en esta temporada. Hoy tenemos una invitada del Reino Unido, tiene 2 discos, vamos a platicar en un ratito con ella, pero yo mejor me callo y los dejo con Kate Nash.
Shady. Well, I'll just read the book instead. I don't care if we're just friends. I can hang out with myself. I don't know how to pretend. I'll just read a book instead. I don't know you think she's special. I don't even think she can. Don't know why you see. There's nothing that I'm done. I think she's I'll just read the book instead. I don't care if we're just friends. I can hang out with myself. I don't know how to pretend. I'll just read the book instead. I don't know you think she's best. I don't even think she cares. I don't know why you see. There's nothing that but I think she's a bitch. This is my face, covered in freckles at the occasional spot and some things. This is my body, covered in skin, and all of it you can see. And this is my eye that goes over and over the same old lights. And this is my brain, it's so to us and a little door, and you go insane. And I use mouthwash, sometimes I buzz. I've got a family, and I drink oxygen. I got a sounding pavement, I got familiar faces. I got mixed up memories, and I got favorite places. I'm singing on a Friday night. And I'm singing on a Friday night. And I'm singing on a Friday night. And I hope everything's gonna be alright. And I'm singing on a Friday night. And I hope everything's gonna be alright. And this is my fate. I've got 1,000 opinions and I'm the type She's instantly more pretty and more interesting than me. She is thinking before she speaks. She is not all that I agree. I bet she doesn't like to eat. I bet her feet don't even stink. I know your eyes are just for me, but kiss that girl and I will shrink her and I will die and I will think of thousand ways that I can hurt you and you will never touch my hand. Kiss that girl and I will shrink her and I will die and I will think of a thousand ways that I can hurt you and you will never touch my hand. Tonight we have not gone well. I know I have given you how I wish you should have stayed at home, 'cause now I'm standing on my own and you are having a nice time with that girl I really don't like. I know your eyes are just for my pride. Kiss that girl and I will shrink her and I will die and I will think of a thousand ways that I can hurt you and you will never touch my hand. Kiss that girl and I will shrink her and I will die and I will think of a thousand ways that I can hurt you and you will never touch my hand. And baby, please don't break my heart, 'cause you are the only one I love. I'll be by your side till the very end, 'cause you're my only friend. Kiss that girl and I will shrink her and I will die and I will think of a thousand ways that I can hurt you, and you will never touch my hand. Heavy-handed, to say the least. My mother thinks I'll be an awful clutcher, 'cause I spill things from standing too quickly. I'm far too loud. It's like as soon as I've got an opinion, has to come out and laugh at stupid things just 'cause they tickle me. And sometimes I wish I was like Mariella. She got some lipstick and she glued her lips together, so she never had to speak, never had to speak, never had to speak. People used to say she's as quiet as a mouse, she just doesn't make a peep. She marched to her wardrobe and she threw away the colour, because wearing black looks mysterious, but it didn't impress her mother. She wanted to dress a baby in patterns and flowers, but Mariella just crossed her arms and so she cried for hours. Mariella, Mariella, the pretty baby girl, glue your lips from being together and wear some pink curls. You can have the friends round and they can say the tea. When you just try to fit in, please do this to me. But Mariella just crossed her arms and she walked up the stairs and she went into her bedroom and she sat on her bed. And she looked in the mirror and she thought to herself, if I want to play, you can play with me. If I want to think, I'll think in my head at school. Mariella didn't have many friends, yeah, those girls, they all looked at her and I thought she was quite strange. And the boys, they're not really into girls of her age, and the teachers, they thought Mariella was just going through a phase. But Mariella just smiled and she skipped down the road because she knew all the secrets in her world. Yeah, she always got the crossword puzzles right every day. She could do the alphabet backwards without making any mistakes. Mariella, Mariella, you pretty, pretty girl. Mariella, Mariella, happy in your own little world. Happy in your own little world. And she said, yeah, I'm never, ever, 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 ever. I'm never, ever, 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 ever. I'm never, ever, 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 gonna unglue my lips from beating together. She said, I'm never, ever, 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 ever. I'm never, ever, 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 gonna unglue my lips from beating together. Ha 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 ha. Thank you.
Kate Nash está aquí en la casa de sesiones, como ustedes ya lo pudieron notar. Kate, thanks a lot for being here on the show.
Thanks for having me.
I'm really thankful to see you here in the show, in this small crowd. The last time I saw you was in Glastonbury.
Yeah.
Yeah, how was that? To be in that kind of festival in the pyramid stage? It's very important for a girl from the UK, I imagine.
It was, yeah. It was pretty scary. I don't usually get nervous before shows, but I was really nervous for that show, just because it's like the opening of Glastonbury, so it feels like quite an important.
Actually, I had breakfast with you that day. Well, I read your article in the Independent.
Oh wow!
That
cool.
you wrote like, I don't know, like a few weeks ago.
Few weeks ago.
And suddenly I don't know how to start this interview because you mentioned in that article a lot of cliches of the interviews
Yeah.
and a lot of questions. And the interview, I mean, the article, the piece was about the sexiness for you
Yeah.
because of a question of a journalist or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm really have the curiosity about which question could be the great question to start this interview in this coach.
Well, I'm pretty impressed that you've read the article, so it's a good start, you know.
Well, I like the article.
Thank you.
I imagine that sometimes for you guys, for the artists, it could be like the very same thing in each interview.
Yeah.
For us, it's the same thing. You know, it's like you want to know, obviously, the things with the album, the
Yeah.
things with the gigs and all the stuff. But what could be, which could be a good question to start this interview for Kate Nash?
I don't know. To be honest, I just prefer it when you do an interview and you just end up having a chat with somebody.
Yeah.
And you talk about issues that like are kind of important. And if someone's like, you know, knows stuff about you and knows what you think about and relates to it, then I always think that makes a good interview, really. Someone's done research, hasn't just looked on like Wikipedia or something.
I really like the thing that you mentioned in the piece about the sexiness, about the thing that when people saw you or see you, I
Yeah.
mean, they always see first a woman
Yeah.
and then an artist and then whatever you want to say. But is it difficult for you to be in this position only because you're a woman?
Yeah.
In this world, in particular in the music industry?
I definitely think that sexism is very ripe in the music industry and just in the world in general, and I don't think it's addressed seriously. I think it's seen as, you know, lighthearted and but in reality, like you know, it's very male dominated, like in labels, in management, in radio and TV, in festival like lineups. The majority of the bands are male, and front magazine covers always feature male artists and not as many female. I had a statistic about a magazine, particular magazine, that in like the last 12 months it only had 3 women on the cover, and each of those women were half naked, even though it was a music magazine. And it just seems that, like, I don't know why I have to like feel, I don't know why I have to explain, you know, my sexuality when it comes to like being a musician. It's like I'd rather talk about my
You're
work
talking
and
about your
art
work,
and, yeah.
no?
And I understand how the two things relate, you know, music and sex, but I think that I don't really respect someone who says, oh, why don't you care about being sexy? Why haven't you done a scandalous photo shoot? As if I'm expected to do that just because I'm a woman. Whereas I don't think they'd be asking a guy the same question if he hadn't done it. Yeah. And I think that sometimes people expect women to be one-dimensional characters. And if you don't fit into a certain box, then it confuses them and they have a problem with it, or they'll just try to typecast you as one thing. You know, you're not allowed to kind of grow and develop and be like a person with different emotions and different feelings at different times. So it frustrates me.
Yeah, the thing is that a lot of women prefer to be treated like that. I don't know, it's like some kind of defense or I don't know if a tradition or something like that, but a lot of women sell first the way they look than their work, no?
But I think that's how they're being taught to feel. I felt like when I was a teenager, if I read magazines, I would feel like I had to be a certain kind of girl. And I was like, I wanted to achieve being, like, my main concerns was like my weight and the way I looked and what guys thought of me. And I think the magazines and the media like force that upon young girls, and they grow up with thinking that that's like the biggest thing to care about, like the most important thing. So I think if you have to kind of have a really open mind and be aware that of what these magazines and what music videos and stuff are selling to you.
And imagine that you have to take care a lot of your own person as a media personality, because I mean in the UK you are pretty well known in a lot of parts of the world. When you have 20, you did this amazing album, or maybe younger.
Yeah.
But the album went big when at the age of 20.
Yeah.
How was that for you? Were you prepared to go out to the street and to be recognized and to catch? Because in the UK, the media, music industry
Yeah.
is like a very gossip media
It is.
sometimes.
It is.
So how was it?
It was quite scary, but it was also a whirlwind. So there was loads of exciting things happening that I got swept up in. But to be honest, I'm not interested in being a celebrity. Like, I really like being creative, and I like writing songs and recording and playing shows. So that was always like what I cared about doing most.
But you cannot avoid the thing.
You can't,
no?
but you can a bit though. I think you can avoid a big chunk of it, because I think people that really want to be celebrities have to court that. You have to court the media. Like, I go out and socialize with my friends at the weekends, and I go to clubs or parties or bars or whatever, and I'm never like stalked by paparazzi, because I don't go to like clubs where they're waiting outside. You know what I mean? Like, some people go to every event, every like to well-known
They want to be in
restaurants
the
where
spotlight.
they want it. And I've just never really been interested in it, because it makes me uncomfortable, and I think it's kind of silly.
Which could be your number one thing in your career? I mean, the creative process, to learn how to play a new instrument,
Yeah.
to write. Which could be the number one
What,
thing?
like my favorite thing?
Yeah.
I think like when you've just written a song and you really like it, then that's always really exciting. And also playing a gig that goes really well, because I'm kind of fussy about how I feel like a show's gone. I have to feel like I did a good job, and also that the crowd were really great. So when you've done like a really, really good live show, you can't really beat that feeling of satisfaction, you know, that comes with it.
How did you enjoy yourself when you did a good gig, as Mexico Cities, for example?
Yeah. How do I enjoy
Did
myself?
you get drunk or
We drank some tequila, yeah.
tequila? Do you
Yeah.
like tequila?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah?
I don't usually drink it like at home,
I
but
heard that you drink vodka very often.
I drink vodka.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I used to drink vodka, but not right now. I'm more on tequila.
Tequila.
And not
Well,
because
in
I'm
Mexico.
Mexican. No, that's a cliche. Okay. Because tequila, you have to taste tequila like in a different way.
Yeah,
like,
it's quite harsh.
yeah.
We're just talking about
Yeah.
booze now.
Try it on the rocks.
Yeah.
It's good.
Okay. I
Yeah.
will. I had a margarita that was really good the
I
other
will
day.
give you some advices
Okay.
about the tequila.
Thank you.
Let me go to a commercial break and
Okay.
be right back. Vamos a un corte y regresamos con Kate Nash, que está aquí en Sesiones. De regreso con Kate Nash. Kate,
Hi.
we're back. So I'm gonna do a cliche question
Okay.
about the last album, because it's very different from the first one.
Yeah.
Everyone that I know that knows your music said like the first one is like really mellow, really nice to hear, and then the second one is like a punk rocker, Kate Nash. So how was the process with the second album? You work with this with Bernard from
Bernard Butler.
yeah,
Yeah.
from
Suede.
Suede. And how was it?
It was really good, actually. I had a really, really cool time. Bernard's great. He's very smart, and he's funny, and he's sarcastic, and we got on really well.
You have to be very open as an artist to work with a producer
Yeah.
like him. No?
Well, I'm a bit of a control freak, and he is too, I think. So, and loads of people ask me, "Oh, was it difficult working with him?" Like, because
So it was a cliche question.
Well, I think no, it's not. But I think that he gets a reputation because he's a bit of a control freak like me, that like he can be headstrong about stuff, but I am too. And rather than clashing heads, we actually really gelled and got on. And I kind of knew exactly what I wanted to do anyway, because I spent like half a year off writing the record, and I had 10 or 12 demos.
By your own.
Yeah.
And then you come to the studio and
I was ready.
you start working with someone else.
Yeah.
And I imagine that process is like a romance.
It's almost,
No?
it can be scary.
Yeah.
It is a relationship, like, and you have to trust the person that you're working with.
Yeah, because if not,
no.
why
Yeah.
do that? No.
Yeah, but Bernard, I respect him a lot. So I think he knew what I wanted as well. So I think he understood what I was trying to achieve, which helped.
Do you feel more comfortable with this album in the live acts, for
Yeah.
example? Because they're more like powerful.
Yeah, and I think that's where that came from, really, because the first record I wrote in my bedroom, like alone, and I hadn't really done gigs before.
How old are you? Where were you?
From like 16, 17, 18.
Okay.
And I'd never really toured, and then now I've been like touring for 4 years or something, so I know what I want to do on stage, and you think about music very differently once you've played so many live shows, and I think that I just wanted to, I've always really been into punk music since I was a kid, and it's just like another side of me that now I have the ability to, because I have a band and I know how to execute it.
Do you go to many gigs?
I try
often?
to, yeah, when I'm at home, yeah. If I've just got off tour and I have only a week off, I usually just like to stay in, but when I'm not busy, I really like going to see shows.
What do you prefer, festivals or special gigs?
I think gigs.
Gigs.
But I do I love Glastonbury. I think it's amazing. But they're more about it's not just about seeing bands, you know, like you can't really rely on it being the best sound or an intimate atmosphere. It's more like a whole event, you know. But I like it. I like that as well.
Well, Kate, I know that the music industry in the UK is very special.
Yeah.
A lot of artists have told me in this very same place that, I don't know, it's like they're always waiting for the next big thing.
Yeah.
And then you have a lot of shitty factors all around. And sometimes I have the sense that the music is not the first thing that people in media or in the industry think when they grow up a project or something like that.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I think that there's a massive celebrity culture in the UK, and that's why stuff like the X Factor does really well, and some like really genuine talented artists don't do very well, and it's hard for them to continue to have a career, which is really weird, because I think in the US, I'm not sure about over here, but I think in the US, you know, you don't have to be a huge band to have a decent career, and in the UK, it kind of feels like your record has to do really well, otherwise you might get dropped.
Because right now there's like, I call them middle class bands.
Yeah.
And that's when you have a band and you can live your life from the band, and you have the enough money to
live
live
as a career.
Yeah, totally. And in the UK, I think that they are always waiting for a huge thing, not a middle class band. In the US, they have a lot of middle class bands. I'm saying this in the best way, you know?
Yeah, no, I think it's good. I think that's a lot healthier and a lot more interesting, because it means that people are actually interested in music rather than just like who's been in the papers, you know.
Do you still care about selling albums, or do you ever care about it?
I don't know. I mean, I never really did to start with, because I guess that's not the way I would think as a musician. I think it's cool. I think it's really, I care about selling the record as like a finished piece. I'd rather people bought the CD or the vinyl, because that's just me. I like care about like the artwork.
You're still buying CDs and vinyls?
Yeah, I always do, because I don't understand, like, it isn't...
You're a romantic.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I really am. And I think that, like... But I don't get that some people's record collection could be deleted. You know, like, mine is really important to me. Like, I collect vinyl and singles and CDs, just because I like to look at the artwork.
Vinyl revival is amazing.
It is. And it just sounds a lot... The sound quality is so much better. I think loads of people listen to MP3s and on their laptop, and it's rubbish. It's like a rubbish quality of sound, you know. Can't hear the work that people have put into making an album.
Are you also aware about your own social networks?
I do. I use Twitter, and it's like twitter.com/Kate Nash, and I use
but
Facebook.
You're the only one that use your account.
Yeah. No, actually, sometimes the label have to post things on there.
Okay.
And my sister did some blogging for me, which was really cool, because I didn't have time to do it every day, and she came out on tour with us, and she took photos, and she was writing blogs, and it was fun, because I mean, I don't really love doing it. I used to do it, and it was important, but I think people want access to so much information really instantly. They want to know, like,
everything.
Yeah, you owe them all this stuff, and
at the very moment.
Yeah, but you know, fans want it, so I think it's also a good way of cutting out the middleman. And if I have information that I want to present to people, or if I want to clear something up, then it just comes straight from me, and people know that it's genuine, you know.
Yeah, that's nice. That's the way
Yeah.
you're supposed to do it. Well, Kate, thanks a lot for being
Oh,
here
thank you
again.
so much for having me.
Can we hear more of your music, please?
Yeah, okay.
And then we will let you go to home
Okay.
with Fluffy.
Fluffy, my bunny rabbit.
Fluffy's not your boyfriend; he's the bunny rabbit.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Say hi to both.
I will. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bueno, Kate Nash aquí en Sesiones y nosotros seguimos con más.
Come so far, well done, darling. You knew that you had it in you. You can do anything that you want. Well, listen, oyster, don't disappoint us, darling. You can stand on your own 2 feet. You can lead me through the streets, pave the way, and we can dream dreams. So one else can see what you make me see. So climb a tree, tripping up like a falling leaf, but holding hands, no one else could ever understand. It's like between us. Not between us, I don't mind. You'll never listen to me. You're gonna listen to me. You'll never listen to me. You'll never listen to me. You'll never listen to me. You're gonna listen to me. You'll never listen to me. You'll never listen to me. I don't know, there's something about you that you like to spend time with me. You said you'd lend me anything. I think I'll have your company. You said you'd lend me anything. I think I'll have your company. You'll never listen to me. 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 Said you lend me anything. Think I'll have your company. You said you lend me anything. Think I'll have your company. I think I'll have your company. You'll never listen to me. 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 Thanks. Thursday night, everything's fine, except you've got that look in your eye when I'm telling a story. You find it boring, you're thinking of something to say. You'll go along with it, then drop it and humiliate me in front of our friends. Then I'll use that voice that you find annoying and say something like, yeah, intelligent input, darling, why don't you just have another beer then? Then you'll call me a bitch and everyone we're with will be embarrassed and I won't give a shit. My fingertips are holding onto the cracks in our foundation, and I know that I should let go, but I said I'd rather be with your friends, mate, cause they are much fitter. Yes, it was childish and you got aggressive, and I must admit that I was a bit scared, but it gives me thrills to wind you up. My fingertips are holding onto the cracks in our foundation, and I know that I should let go, but I can't. And every time we fight, I know it's not right. Every time that you're upset and I smile, I know I should forget, but I can't. Your face is pasty, cause you've gone and got so wasted. What a surprise, don't want to look at your face, cause it's making me sick. You've gone and got sick on my trainers. I only got these yesterday. Oh my gosh, I cannot be bothered with this. Well, I'll leave you there till the morning, and I purposely won't turn the heating on and it go. I hope I'm not stuck with this one. My fingertips are holding onto the cracks in our foundation, and I know that I should let go, but I can't. And every time we fight, I know it's not right. Every time that you're upset and I smile, I know I should forget, but I can't. And every time we fight, I know it's not right. Every time that you're upset and I smile, I know I should forget, but I can't. And every time we fight, I know it's not right. Every time that you're upset and I smile, I know I should forget, but I can't.
Y estamos llegando ya al final del programa del día de hoy. Muchas gracias a todos los que nos acompañaron, a los que estuvieron aquí, a los que nos han seguido en esta transmisión. Un aplauso para los músicos de Kate Nash, que son extraordinarios. Gracias, por supuesto, también a Kate Nash. Y bueno, ya nos vamos. Si quieren encontrar material de Kate Nash, bueno, hay 2 discos hasta el momento en que se grabó este programa. Y el último salió en 2010 y se llamó You Are My Best Friend. Y lo pueden encontrar. Es un disco que la verdad es que vale mucho la pena. Ya hablamos de él en la entrevista. Y bueno, nosotros ya nos vamos. Gracias por haber estado con nosotros de nueva cuenta. Mi nombre es Alejandro Franco y los dejo con Kate Nash.
Watching me like you never watched that one. Don't tell me that you didn't try and check out my bum, cause I know that you did, cause your friend told me that you liked it. Gave me those pearls and I thought they were ugly. Don't you try and tell me that you never loved me. I know that you did, cause you said it and you wrote it down. Dancing at discos, eating cheese on toast. Yeah, you made me merry, made me very, very happy, but you obviously you didn't want to stick around. Cheese on toast, yeah, you made me very, very happy, but you obviously you didn't want to stick around. So I learned from you. Do, ta-do, do, do-do-do-do, ta-do, do, do-do-do-do, ta-do, do. Do, ta-do, do, do-do-do-do, ta-do, do, do-do-do-do, ta-do, do. I can be alone, yeah, I can watch the sunset on my own. Sunset on my own. I can be alone, yeah. I can watch a sunset on my own. I can be alone. I can can watch a sunset on my own. I can be alone. I can watch a sunset on my own. Sitting in restaurants, thought we were so grown up, but I know now that we were not the people that we turned out to be. On the phone, can't take back those hours, but I won't regret, 'cause you can put flowers from where dirt used to be. Tossing out discos, eating cheese on toast, saying let me marry, let me very, very happy, but you obviously you didn't want to stick around. Tossing out discos, eating cheese on toast, saying let me marry, let me very, very happy, but you obviously you didn't want to stick around. So I learned from you. Do 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 da do 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 da do 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 da do 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 da 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 do 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 da 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 do 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 da 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 do. I can be alone, yeah. I can watch a sunset on my own. I can be alone. I can watch a sunset on my own. I can be alone. I can watch a sunset on my own. I can be alone, yeah. I can watch a sunset on my own. I can be alone. I can watch a sunset on my own. I can be alone. I can watch a sunset on my own.